You might die alone, and that's okay. Made some coffee with the Vietnamese dripper today. Wearing only my boxers, so don't look. Hi guys, it's Dustin. So lately I have gone through a big mindset change when it comes to love, and specifically just thinking about the idea of love. I'm gonna go more into detail a little bit later, but that also has led me to think a lot about how we as human beings are so addicted to love. It is an obsession. We center our entire lives around it, specifically romantic love. Thinking about romantic love is something that is ingrained in us from a very young age. From movies like When Harry Met Sally and The Notebook, or classic stories like Romeo and Juliet to Pride and Prejudice. Almost every story told is centered around love in some capacity. Even in real life, from looking at our parents' relationships to being asked who do you have a crush on the elementary school playground, being asked the annoying question of if you're dating anyone by distant relatives, or even when you're catching up with friends and you're getting really excited to ask each other about your love life updates. It's always a hot topic on everyone's tongue, and it makes sense why we're all addicted to it. We're taught from a young age to idealize it and daydream about it. Like your first kiss, first date, your first relationship, getting married, your dream wedding. Which leads us to today's topic of this little chatty video essay, which I recently have been calling them video essays because I realize I've done a couple of these now, and they kind of are video essay-esque just without the research. They're just my noggin. My noggin is the knowledge. Anyway, today I want to talk about the negative impacts of our unhealthy obsession with love, romantic love, and relationships, and how it's draining us from truly enjoying our lives. First, I want to talk about my own history. Romantic love is something that would constantly be in my mind. I would always be thinking about it. It would always be in the back of my brain with everything I did. For example, if I went literally anywhere, okay? Like a cafe, a party, heck, I could go to the hospital and I'd be like, what if I found the love of my life here? What if I walk through these doors and my life gets changed forever? And also, I used to classify myself a lot as a hopeless romantic, so I would just be romanticizing everything, which I guess in hindsight isn't that bad, but it could get really, really excessive. Everything I did was kind of just in the route to reach the goal of finding romantic love or something like that. I would just like go to things for literally the fact that I could possibly meet the love of my life there, and it would be constantly running my life. It was the drive. Why I was living my life was for romantic love. And I think the reason for that is because romantic love is the only thing in life that I feel like I haven't experienced. I've experienced love from my family, I've experienced love from my friends, I've experienced traveling, I've experienced, great memories, concerts, parties, life's, extravaganzas. But romantic love is something that I still have not gotten to experience. I've never dated anyone, and I've never been the type to really catch people's attention. And with my friends all getting into relationships or experiencing what I couldn't, growing up, it only worsened my addiction. Then I realized maybe a year ago how this addiction was the root of all my sadness and loneliness. Every time I would talk about love and relationships and dating with my friends, I noticed how drained I would be afterwards. And it would put me in such a negative and lonely space, and then I would fall into this like depressive episode for a few days, and all of that just because I talked about love with my friends. And honestly, I wouldn't have much to talk about. Like, it would just be like, not much is going on. Like, I guess I went on a few dates. They would talk about their relationship or whatever, and then we would talk about maybe some philosophy topic about love, like, oh, like, isn't it funny how this part of love, blah, 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 blah. Like, we would just talk about that stuff, and I would just be drained. And also, this addiction would ruin nights out for me. I used to go out with the mindset or goal, and I would tell my friends, oh, I want to find someone tonight, I want to kiss someone tonight. And then every time we went out and the night came to an end and I didn't achieve those things, I would get really disappointed and think the night was a waste and didn't have fun. And also, I've never gone out a single time and ever found someone. So every time I went out, I never had fun because I had this mindset of constantly scanning the room, looking for someone, because the goal of the night was to, you know, find somebody. And if I didn't, then I failed the night. It worsened my confidence as well for never being desired, caused me to compare myself to others. Brief intermission. I just want to say I've been in such a good spot in life. I've just been so happy lately. I think what helped a lot was my new mindset shift when it comes to approaching love, which I'll be talking about later in this video. But overall, I just feel so much lighter. I've been less stressed about unimportant things. I've been hanging out more and being more present with my friends. I think harping on things I couldn't control, such as romantic love, was really holding me down. The main thing I'm focusing on now is keeping up with that mindset and discovering new good habits to practice. Something that can help with that is today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp makes starting therapy easier and less intimidating for a lot of people. BetterHelp lets you choose whatever's the most comfortable version of therapy for you, whether that's through video chat, messaging, or phone call. BetterHelp can match you with one of over 30,000 therapists in their network based on your needs, preferences, and location. That gives you access to a wider range of expertise that might not be available in your city. To get started, you fill out a questionnaire asking you what challenges you've been going through, what kind of therapist you'd like, and then BetterHelp will match you with a therapist. You'll be matched with a therapist in most cases within 48 hours, and you can schedule a time that's convenient for you for your therapy sessions. If you feel like your therapist isn't a great fit, you can switch therapists with the click of a button in your settings, no additional cost. Join over 4 million people who are using BetterHelp to start living healthier, happier lives. Click the link in the description and visit betterhelp.com/Dustin or choose the Dustin Vuong at sign up. Clicking the link helps support this channel, but also gives you 10% off your first month at BetterHelp. So you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. And in return, it affected my friendships. I would get jealous over my friends' relationships or whether they got hit on and I didn't. This didn't totally affect my friendships where I got a friendship breakup because of it. You know, I have more control over that. I will say internally, it changed my mindset on my friends and made me feel so many negative things where it created a lot of barriers, even though I feel like maybe they didn't know it. But to me, I was like, wow, I could be way more open with you right now if I didn't have these dumb jealousy barriers. Me being so obsessed with love was so ridiculous. And like I mentioned earlier, I recently went through a huge mindset change. And now I would say I'm no longer as obsessed and addicted as love before. Like before, I was like an addict. Like if love was a drug, your love, your love, your love is my drug. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, Kesha had a point because that was me. Anyway, I was able to change my mindset and create a more healthy relationship with love. And how I fixed it, this may sound morbid, but I made myself okay with the idea of dying alone. Let me explain. So to me, this is the quote unquote worst case scenario. When I think about romantic love, the worst thing to happen is I don't find it, I don't experience it, and then I die alone, never experiencing romantic love. And by making myself think about the scenario and whether or not I was in that scenario and if it actually happened to me, and making myself okay with that idea, kind of like exposure therapy in a way, it's relieved me of any fears and burdens of never finding love. Because that was one of the main factors contributing to my obsession with love, was the fear of never being able to experience it. So now that I've accepted the idea and possibility of dying alone, I don't really think about love that much anymore. Now I feel a lot more content with being alone and being with myself. And I guess with that in hand comes practicing self-love and being okay with being alone. And you have to kind of teach yourself how to do that, which I feel like I kind of have done that over the past few years. So I kind of had that in the bag already. And yeah, now love is just not a thing that crosses my mind constantly. It's not this problem that I have to solve. It's just not a thing in my life that I put a lot of energy and care about. And this does not mean I'm not open to love. It's more so if someone comes along and it happens, then great. But if not, I'm also okay with that. It just caused me to no longer put romantic love on this pedestal and realize especially that there's so many other things that life has to offer. And there's so many different aspects that love has to offer as well. And now truly I can say, if I die alone, okay, like cool, then I die alone. Then it just happens. It's kind of just like I accept it for what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Also, I have a little note because everyone always says love comes when you least expect it. But I don't know about you guys. I used to always be expecting it. And I feel like when people say that, that's a lie, because I feel like us as human beings, we are always kind of expecting it. We are always kind of thinking about it. Like if an opportunity comes, our mind is gonna think, oh, is something romantic happening here? Like it's always a thing that's actually gonna be happening. So I never understood why people say love comes when you least expect it. Also, people who say that shit is so fucking annoying because they always say it at the worst time to a person who does not want to hear it. And also, the person saying that always is in a relationship. Always. But when it comes to that phrase and this new mindset I have, now you're really not expecting it because you're never thinking about it. So this is personally the method that's helped me. I feel like maybe this is a bit out there and it won't help everybody. My brain kind of just works in a very logical way. I've always been a very black and white, I see things how they are person. That strangely brings me comfort. If you guys have any other methods that maybe aren't as harsh, leave them in the comments. But to me personally, I feel like this is like the ultimate way to solve this obsession with love. Being okay with never finding it. We all are just searching for it, and that's why we're obsessed, because we're constantly searching for it. Anyway, I've reaped many new benefits from this new mindset, and I feel like my mental health is way better now, and I want to talk about some of those benefits. First, it's bettered my confidence because I no longer get validation or purpose from romance with another person. I feel like a lot of people run on external validation. A lot of people need a romantic partner to feel validated, to feel confident, and to feel loved. Obviously very unhealthy, but I do not feel those things. It's made me grateful for other forms of love that I have in abundance, such as from my friends and family. Love from your friends and family, or even connecting with strangers and just talking to them and having a one-off conversation is just as fulfilling as romantic love. You just have to realize it. Also kind of going off on this, I have way more fun going out at night now. Looking for someone on a night out doesn't cross my mind anymore. And in return, it helps me pay more attention to my friends and having fun with them. And it's made going out way more fun. I used to hate going out, and now I love it so much because instead of going in with the mindset of, ooh, I want to find someone tonight, I go in with the mindset of, I want to have fun and dance with my friends tonight. It has made going out my new favorite thing. Like every time I'd be like, I feel like I'd have to apologize to my friends because I'd be like, sorry guys, I didn't have fun. I'm sorry, I was kind of like a buzzkill, I don't know. And now I generally just go out, I just dance. I don't scan rooms anymore. There's no point. There's probably no one in here anyway. And if something were to happen, then let's just let it happen. But I'm not gonna put my energy into scanning the room and trying to find someone romantically. I'm just gonna be in the present moment, look at my friends who are surrounding me with so much love already, and I'm gonna dance with them, and I'm gonna have fun with them. I'm gonna create these new memories because these people are already in my life. I chose to have them in my life. They love me. I love them. We're here all together, and we're here to spend time together and have fun together. And now, it just made me see life in a whole different light. I appreciate and accept life for more of what it is, instead of using my energy focusing on things I can't change. Especially for a thing that is as unpredictable as love. I also have control issues, so this really helps relieve the stress. The idea of not being able to control love and whether or not someone loved me drove me insane. Throughout my entire life, I've been able to control things. I think when I was younger, I allowed other people to take control of things, and in return I always got disappointed, so maybe it's some childhood trauma thing. So then now I've just become a person where I just take everything with my own hands. If I don't get it done, then it's not gonna get done. I cannot rely on others as much as I can rely on myself, and in return that's like helped me a lot. Love is something that you can't control. Yes, I can control the decisions I make, where I move, where I travel, stuff like that with my life, but love is something I can never control. And I would try to control it. I would think of little formulas in my brain where I'm like, okay, if I change this about my personality, if I change how I wear these clothes, if I act in this certain way, more people will like me. That's just statistics. But now I realize that's stupid. You cannot just make love happen. It is not a mathematical formula, okay, Dustin? No matter what you try. And yes, maybe my thoughts kind of made sense. Like, okay, if I act this way, that's perceived as a more attractive trait. Okay, maybe more people find me attractive. But then in return, you're not being yourself. Then the person that comes to you is not gonna love you for who you actually are. I'd rather be alone and just be happy with myself than be somebody else and have somebody that doesn't really know who I really am. And also, even if you change all those things and act this certain way, and statistically, people will find you more attractive, every human being is so complex. You don't know why people find certain people attractive. And some people might throw you a curveball. My brain naturally goes to stereotypes, putting people in a box. I'm still kind of working towards this of like, everyone's a different human being. You do not know what they're thinking, Dustin, no matter what you think. And like, I have this problem where I just feel like I know what people are thinking, but I don't. It's helped. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my god, I have one of those like dad sneezes that's like hella loud. Sorry y'all. It's helped with finding other purposes in life. There's so much more to life. Traveling, connecting with other human beings, not romantically, but in a more pure and innocent way where you have nothing to gain. You just are simply connecting with another human being and having conversation. I feel like that's also another thing with romance. You get stuff from it. You get a partner, you always have someone to talk to, you have someone to help you in life, you have someone to kiss. You benefit from having a romantic partner, but I feel like there's something so pure about like just connecting with another human being and not expecting anything in return. Also learning, there's just so much to discover in life that does not center around romantic love. And it's made me more open about my ideology of love. For example, it's made me think a lot about monogamy versus open relationships or polygamy. Is that the right word? Polygamy? Let me Google that. The only time I insert actual research. Yes, polygamy. Polygamy! That's the right word. Hey, come on. Come on. I feel like it's such a taboo subject, but it shouldn't be. It's just another version, an idea. Love is not a set thing. Who says monogamy is the only way you can go about love? And I feel like there's so much weirdness and negative connotations with polygamy, but there shouldn't be. And that's not me saying I want an open relationship or anything like that. It's just made me more open to the idea and just thinking about it and asking questions and being curious as if it's just like a topic to learn in school, you know? I've come across people who are in open relationships, so it's just made me more open to asking them questions like, how is that? How does it work? Are there boundaries? Do you guys ever experience this? Explore more sides of romantic love and relationships and how people go about it. I feel like monogamy is just something that's been just set in society for so long where we just don't question it. And I'm like, why not though? Not saying monogamy is bad. I feel like love as a topic is just something that has been so interesting to me. And now I look at love, or in a more philosophical sense, where I just like to explore more ideas of it. It's no longer just the set thing. I feel like my new mindset change has helped me with that, because before I would be like, of course I want a monogamous relationship. Still, right now, I think I would like to be in a monogamous relationship, or at least I've never been in a relationship, so I would at least like to try it out. I don't know, I think it's just made me more of an open human being, not as judgmental. And I will say I'm a pretty judgmental person, just naturally I judge. I be judging, I'm very critical. It is one of my main attributes. Whether I like it or not, I'm critical to a fault, or self-aware to a fault as well. Yeah, that's just like one side of how I've been more open on. We look at love and romance as this destined fate and right that everyone will receive. But we forget that romantic love is not a necessity. You will not die if you don't have romantic love. It's a privilege. It requires luck. And I get so tired of people saying, oh, you'll find someone, like, don't think that way. Every time I've shared this mindset of, oh, I'm okay with the idea of dying alone and it's really helped me, everyone's always like, oh, you shouldn't think that way. Like, you'll find someone, like, you'll find someone. Oh. But in reality, not everybody finds love in their lifetime. Some people do die alone. People find that hard to swallow, but it's true. There are people out there who went their entire lives without without going on a date, kissing somebody, or getting married. This is a thing that can actually happen. It's not this fantasy lore. And I guess we all die alone technically, but you know what I'm saying when I say die alone. You guys get it. You guys get it. I don't feel like I need to over-explain that. Anyway, while that whole scenario sounds sad, it's okay. It's kind of all just about perspective. You may not find romantic love in this lifetime, but you find so many other things. There's all the memories you have with your friends and family. There's all the human beings you've ever had conversation with. There's all the places you've seen, cultures you've experienced, foods you've eaten, beaches you swam in, art you've consumed. There is so much to life. Romantic love is just one part of it. And that's not on to say to be avoidant on love. Sometimes I find myself neglecting romance, like when it comes up with conversation with my friends, I just don't want to talk about love usually, or even when it crosses my mind, sometimes I find myself telling myself to stop it and like forget about it, which is unhealthy. I encourage you to shift your mindset, not totally reject romantic love. I still allow myself to be romantic because I feel like that is just something that will naturally always be at my core. I still watch the movies, enjoy the stories. Romantic love is still a side of love and life itself, and it can make life so beautiful and fun. But it's just important to remember that romantic love isn't all there is, and your life won't stop without it. And who knows, maybe you'll be one of the ones who are lucky enough to experience the wonderful privilege that is romantic love. Anyway, that is pretty much all I have to say about this topic. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I talk about love a lot, and I've gotten a few comments about how they feel like I just talk about the same thing in every video, just regurgitated. I disagree. I feel like in every chatty video essay I do, I am talking about something different, and I'm bringing something different to the table. While it might be about the same idea, I'm talking about something different about that idea or topic. And love is such a vast thing. There's so many different topics to discuss about love. If y'all don't like that, sorry about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.